Hello, everybody. Hey, it's Ken Faulkner. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. This weekend when I'm filming this guy, at least. But yeah, I'm doing one of my collection videos, which is a brand that I have a lot of knives from. Sometimes I have brands where I only have like one knife or a couple knives, but there's some brands that I definitely, especially earlier on when I was collecting, I would get a lot from the same brand. And so this is Artisan Cutlery mostly, but there is a sister company, which is CJRB. So they're all kind of combined. It's kind of like I did with the Wii Civivi Syncut, similar kind of thing. We're down to a smaller amount than those because I've already done Kaiser and Civivi Wii Syncut and Spyderco. Those are the ones that I have more of, but this one I have 12 here from the two levels of this company. And I thought I had more because I had on my spreadsheet, always talking about it. If it's the first time watching my channel, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I do have a spreadsheet of all my knives because I like to kind of keep a count of them and some information in the spreadsheet, like blade steel, what kind of blade shape, what kind of lock, that kind of thing, brand, model. And that kind of helps me figure out which ones I have the more of. And I had 14 listed here, and I had actually 5 instead of 3 down at the bottom here. These are CJRBs. I had 5 listed, and it's crazy. Okay, that started a whole thing. I started pulling out the knives. I had to pull them out. I got stuff in my collection, and the ones with the majority of a lot of knives in one brand I have in a separate case. So that's not too hard for the most part. But then there's some like this one's my girlfriend's, so I had to find that one. And then there's 2 that I know I bought, and I know they're around here somewhere. But I'll explain that a little bit later. Try to keep it short, but it always goes long. So we're going to get into it, kind of going through the order by best of my memory, which ones I bought earlier and which ones I got more recently. So I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking my first one from Artisan Cutlery. It's funny, when I used to do videos of Artisan Cutlery, I had a guy used to comment a lot on my videos. Tropical. I don't know if you guys know him. I haven't seen him around. If anybody knows where he is or if he's okay or whatever, because I haven't seen him in the chats for a long time. Anyway, he used to talk about how these are the Nazi knives because he said that their symbol looked like a swastika. And it is kind of similar, but obviously it's different. So there's no affiliation between the company. I think actually this is this symbol and even the swastika I think came from China originally or something, but obviously it didn't mean anything related to Nazis until World War II, right? Anyhow, little side rant. This is how the videos get so long. Anyway, so yeah, this is one of the early ones. I mean, I really didn't know Artisan Cutlery, and I was probably buying something on Amazon or Blade HQ or something like that. This one is called the Mega Hawk. Mega Hawk. And I thought it was cool. Very early, like I said, it's got this inlay of that kind of old-fashioned carbon fiber, but I didn't know any different at that time. And then I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, what's going on here? So I guess this is the right side carry clip position, but then there's this other one. It looks like you can actually flip it around and have it tip up instead of tip down, or no, tip down instead of tip up. But yeah, that's not my preferred carry. I've never tried it in that position, but I just kind of was noticing that. Yeah, so there's got the inlays or onlays or what do you want to call them. And yeah, I think this is just steel and carbon fiber. Stainless, yeah. And then the blade steel is D2. See if I make sure I'm right. Yeah, D2. And I have over time had like little bit of rusting on the blade, little spots here and there. Try to keep it nice, but I don't carry this one as much as, especially some of the older ones like this. Don't get as much carry time. Still a cool knife. It's got that Wharncliffe edge, really cool, kind of that reverse tanto, if you want to call it that. Clip on the front of the blade. And it's got the interesting swedge, because it's not like in line with the top of the knife. It kind of comes down at an angle. So that's kind of interesting. And I thought it was cool. I mean, very, very early. Line to lock. Good action. Drops pretty well. On a flipper only. You know, back then I didn't know anything about middle finger flicking. And you can't catch the edge of the blade or anything like that. But yeah, it's a pretty cool knife. Next one that I bought is probably the Fel Spar. Now this is CJRB, so this is the budget line. A lot of the artisan cutleries aren't that expensive, but the CJRBs are definitely in that budget-y range. So CJRBs, the ones I got on my list, are all sub $50, including this one. So the Fel Spar is actually down at the like $38 range, according to my spreadsheet. Great micarta. They really got good ones, and it's definitely, you know, got that patina, that micarta patina with the oils. I don't know if you call it patina, but that look of being used. Reversible clip. We're talking about D2 blade. Nice drop point, nice pointy blade. Definitely I like this style. Maybe not my favorite knife blade style, but you know, this kind of, you know, tapering to a fairly fine point at the end. I think it's very cool, very comfortable knife. This is a great knife. I mean, I think as far as budget knives, this is like one of my favorites. And yeah, so that was one that I got pretty early on. Now we're going back to Blade Show West when it was in Long Beach. I don't know if anybody remembers when that happened. They used to have it up in Washington or Oregon or something like that, and they brought it down to Long Beach for 1 year. But then they had all this crazy like metal detectors outside, and it was right at the end, after COVID, I think, or right at the beginning of COVID, one or the other. But they're all masking up and all this stuff. You know, Los Angeles area and Long Beach is just, you know, just a really not my kind of place politically, or as far as, you know, ideas about how you should, you know, live your life. But won't get into politics too much. This one just caught my eye. I mean, because I've always been kind of a fan of Medfords. Just looking at them, I have like a couple in my collection, but not the real big ones. And this one kind of had that feel of Medford. And speaking of feel, it is extremely heavy knife. I'm thinking about doing, because I got this one's brass. I just recently did this guy, which is a copper and very heavy. I might do a video with some of the heavier knives in my collection, because it doesn't really dissuade me. This one actually was a return knife, so I got a discount on this. Normally this guy is only $49. This one was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive, from what I've told. But they had it at the show because somebody sent it back. It didn't have the pin with it. They said, "Oh, contact me. Let me, you know, I'll send you a pin." I contacted them. Didn't follow up that much, but I never heard back from them. Not a big deal. I don't think that I'd ever, you know, flick this out, get it out of my pocket, flick it out, and then put the pin in to do anything with it. Yeah, it's kind of a big, crazy knife, but it's kind of my thing, somewhat. I mean, obviously I have smaller knives too, but I do like bigger knives. Heavy knives aren't a problem for me, and it's just overbuilt. The jimping is crazy on it. Talked about it before. The monster. In fact, I got this one is from the thumbnail that I put on this. I'm hoping I can put the thumbnail, because I zoomed in on it, and hopefully it's not too big. There's like a limitation of how big the photo can be for the thumbnail. So hopefully I will be using this for the thumbnail of this video. We'll see when I try to put it up. Let's see if it gives me a nope. You can't do it. Anything else? Big old clip. Um, nice, just a generally nice for the price, under $50. So much steel. D2 again. And again, I've had little spots here and there that I've had to kind of battle with, try to keep them off. And obviously, there's a patina on this this brass as well, which I like. I mean, you could always do the brasso thing and really shine it up, but I think it looks cool like this. So that was like one of the next ones that I bought. Then looking down this line, I think the next one that I got was probably this guy. And this one is the, what did I call this? Centuri. And front flipper. It may have been the first front flipper I ever bought. I remember I got this, I ordered it, probably Blade HQ. I was buying a lot of stuff from Blade HQ earlier on. But I was visiting my folks in Florida, and back then it was just early in my collecting, so I didn't have a lot of knives, but I was really getting into carrying them and stuff like that. And when I was down there, they live in kind of a small town area in Florida. It's on the coast, but it's kind of a smaller little town. It's a very cool little place. It's called Hope Sound. Not a lot of people heard of it. Some people who've been down there know about it. It's great grind lines on there. It's so cool. It's beautiful. I think it's a Ray Laconico design. I'm pretty sure. It probably says it in here somewhere. Probably right here. But that little writing is just so hard to get zoomed in on. But yeah, Ray Laconico. Great snappy. Real snappy. This one and the Feist were the early front flippers that I had, and so cool. Nice titanium clip with the anodize on it. And then you got the same anodize on the, or maybe a little bit bluer. This is like a purple. This looks like a little bit more blue, purple version around the pivot. This one is, what's the steel on this guy? That's why I have a spreadsheet so I can look this stuff up. This one is a S35VN. It actually says it on the blade if I'd looked. Little blade, small for me, but still I can fit it in my hand pretty well. I can get 4 fingers on there. It's threatening to fall off, but I could definitely get it on there. It's got that little slot thing, which is like a Ray Laconico thing, and this G10, which is like different layers in there. Very cool. I really like this knife for a small knife. It's very cool. Great backup. Probably could fit it in certain fifth pockets, bigger fifth pockets. Great knife. Okay, moving on. So, thinking about older knives, I think maybe this guy I bought from Stella. You know, she's often doing little knife sales, and I thought it was really cool with that big old looking eye thing on there. The pivot on there is just so oversized. I've always liked this kind of knife where it kind of curves all the way front to back across the spine of the blade. Very pokey, Warncliffe-y kind of knife. We're talking AR RPM 9. I think this is close to when they were first using that steel, because I don't remember them using it when I first started buying from them, but then, you know, you start hearing about it all the time. Again, we got the anodize, same kind of anodize, very similar to what we're seeing here. Got that blurple, so there's like a little bit of a theme there. Yeah, so I mean, it's a little smaller, thinner, because when you hold it in your hand, you don't have a lot. It doesn't really fill your hand. You kind of have to make sure you're holding on to it. You get your finger up here though, and you get a good strong grip that way. I thought it was kind of cool, and you know, she was selling it, looking to raise some money for whatever. And backspacer, also titanium, little place for a lanyard. And it also has that great micarta, very much like the Fel Spar, same kind. So all those things, and she was trying to, you know, get some money, and I just said, okay, that one looks good to me. So I picked that one up. Did I tell you what it was? It's called the Cazador. The Cazador. Yeah, and this one is a little bit more expensive. Cazador is up at the $85 mark. I didn't mention the price of this guy. This guy is actually almost $100. But it's got the S35 VN. So anyway, moving on. Probably the swags, the more Milea. I remember when this first came out because everybody's talking about the Milea, but it's Milea. This one is kind of small for me. If I choke up here, even though this really doesn't give you enough room to fully choke up, but I can do it, then I get the grip. So this is where I really prefer to hold it. It's nice that it doesn't have a flipper tab on it on the back. Front flipper again, very snappy. And so I've never held the Milea, but I'm sure that for me would be way too small. But I know it was designed for women with smaller pockets in their pants. This one is kind of smaller, so I guess it's a larger version that would still work for that. Reversible clip, nice grippy G10, kind of like what you'd see on a lot of Kubi knives and stuff like that. Spyderco even. It's got that texture in there. And yeah, it's a very good design, little sheep's foot sort of thing going on there. Got that gold pop on the thumb studs and the pivot collar. Cool little knife. I mean, it kind of gets overlooked in my collection a lot because it's just doesn't really stand out as much. But, you know, I still like it. This is probably a candidate for maybe going to a giveaway one of these days. Just because it just doesn't make it. Not that it's a bad knife. It just doesn't make it in the pocket that often. Now, I'll go ahead and do these two. I got these at two different times. And actually, I mentioned that this is my girlfriend's. So what happened was that I had this one. And this one's a little bit more premium. And you kind of see why. It's got that carbon fiber. Lava flow, I think, or something like that. Okay, let's see. It probably says here on the spreadsheet. No, it just says fat carbon. So it's a fat carbon, but it's probably like a lava flow or something like that. It's a cool look. I bought this with a set of knives that I bought on the secondary. There's like 5, I think, of these, or 4 or 5 of them. One of them I already gave away, which is the Tradition. Used to be in my collection, but I gave that one away. Very, very stabby. What do you call it? The splinter getter, for sure. So this is a little bit more premium with the steel and everything, because this one is N390 and this one is actually $233, and I didn't pay nearly that much. I got a great deal on like 5. I probably paid less than $233 for all like 4 or 5 knives, and but it's still, you know, pretty good for the price that I bought it. Definitely excellent. Good jimping up here. Good thumb ramp going on. So anyway, later on down the line, back when I used to win on B's Blades, and actually my girlfriend, Vicky B, you see her occasionally on there. She's kind of gotten to be good friends with Mrs. B's more so. But anyway, this was in a giveaway. Probably one of the top dog ones. This is a Ray Laconico, both of these, I guess. And this one has got the AR RPM 9. So this is like the more of a budgety version of it. I think the price on this one was right at $56. So big difference. You know, Bees is always breaking out. Oh, look, here's this version, and this version, and this version. I don't normally do that. And the only reason why this one's still around is because she won it, and it is her knife. So I'm not going to give her knife away or anything like that. But it's still a cool knife, and we got 2 versions of them between the 2 of us. Got the more premium with the fancy, and then that's the basic one, which is very nice. I mean, the grind lines are very cool. Nice Ray Laconico. An AR RPM 9 is a good steel. So there you go. Those are those 2. Certainly this one I got earlier. This one came a little bit afterwards. I'll put those over. Moving on up. This is one of on the set of 4 knives, 5 knives that I got with this guy. And it's called the Shark. And again, you kind of see a theme there. I bought it for somebody who bought it from somebody else. who was just trying to get rid of some knives. So that's why I got such a sweet deal on it. Obviously, this guy's a button lock, but this one here is actually a frame lock. And so this is called the Shark, and this one actually is like $154. It's got some carbon fiber. It's kind of cool, shredded carbon fiber. The blade steel on it is S35 VN, so that kind of bumps the price a little bit. Frame lock kind of bumps the price. You know, get the milled titanium pod clip. It's got that cool engraved Artisan Cutlery. You see that on some of the knives on the backspacer. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this one's really small in my hands. You know, I like a range of different knives. And like I said, I got such a sweet deal on this. I probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise. But sweet, sweet deal. And, you know, you never know. You got, like, you're carrying multiple knives, and sometimes you need a small knife. And other times you want a big old monster knife. You know, so you get a little variety in your life. And there you go. So, yeah. So that one is the Shark. And a lot of people like this kind. It says it's got the reversible clip. A lot of people like little knives like this. It's not my preference, but I still like it. So there's that one. And moving on, these are kind of blade show type knives. I bought this one. This is the Pyite. After it had been around for quite a while, and everybody's all over the Pyite, and I just kind of was slow to jump on the train. And then I was looking at one of the blade shows, just trying to find inexpensive knives that I can do giveaways with. And this one was inexpensive and pink, very pink. And actually, I have a friend at work, and then my girlfriend, and then I don't think they were, you know, my girlfriend was with me that time. And I thought, well, and then my daughter. So I'm buying gifts for different people. So I kind of like, when I got back, I kind of said, hey, which of these knives do you want? And then none of them took the pink one. And, you know, I don't mind pink. It's okay. Definitely not my favorite color. I don't know if you can get aftermarket scales for these. You might, I mean, because the Pyite was such a popular knife. But yeah, I mean, it's just a very good EDC knife. And the Pyite is like a $50 knife, and you're talking about AR RPM 9, G10 with that grippy G10, and the button lock, which may or may not fail. I don't know. I'm not going to really do a lot with that, but you just say, you know, I'm not going to really hard use the knife. I'm not going to do anything where it might close on me. Nice jimping. So yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to get one just to see what all the hype was about, but it doesn't really get carried that much. Maybe it'll go in a giveaway. Maybe somebody will have to decide if they want a pink knife or not. These two kind of came at the same time. Last year is the first time I went to the California Custom Knife Show. I guess it's been around for quite a while. It used to be closer to me in Anaheim area, and then it got moved up to Oxnard. Still not too far, maybe hour and a half drive, something like that. 40, maybe an hour drive, something like that. Anyway, I've told the story before, but briefly. The Valor. This is one that I saw at probably my first blade show, the one in Long Beach, and I thought it was so cool. I think it's a Ferrum Forge design. I've always liked their designs, and it's a big knife, and I don't know, this cutout, the way it's cut out in the blade, and it cuts into the titanium handle. I think that's really cool. Let's see, it's got the Ferrum Forge little symbol there. So it is their design, and this is a S35 VN. And so this one's not cheap, $200. Not, you know, super expensive, but still. Oh man, this is so smooth though, so smooth. So for years I kept eyeing it and eyeing it and eyeing it, and I went to this California Custom Knife Show, and they have a lot of very expensive knives that are very, very nice. And I just, you know, couldn't really afford the very expensive knives that I wanted. But I saw this one, And I'm going, man, I just got to pick it up. And then I saw this one sitting next to it, which is the Great White. And this is a Gavco design. And it's cool. Cool and crazy with all the way the grinds are on the blade. It's just very cool. And I like that. It's kind of fantasy, kind of, it's all titanium construction and all that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden I'm stuck. I don't know which one of these two I want to get. And you know, I was having such a hard time deciding that I ended up talking to the guy. I said, I don't know which one to get. And they ended up giving me a deal, like $20 off of buying two of them, or 25 maybe. I don't know. It wasn't a huge deal, but I ended up spending way more than I was wanting to. But because I was in this dilemma where I want both of them, and I like them both for different reasons. I like the craziness of this one. The ergos on it aren't as good, but up here it's pretty good. But still, it's more for looks than actual usability. Whereas this one, man, it feels so good in both positions in my hand, and I really like the sound of it when it closes. It's just kind of this little soft. Whereas, you know, a lot of knives will kind of do that little loud click thing. Well, this one, that didn't do it that time. More of a click like that sound, you know. I can't make it do it. Maybe this one has that same kind of sound. Yeah, kind of does. But anyway, I like that kind of, it seems like just a well-built sort of feel to how it closes. So anyway, that's the story behind those, and those are the most recent ones from Artisan Cutlery that I bought. There's a couple others that I kind of have in mind, but you know, there's just so many knives out there, and I've started like going after companies that I don't already have in my collection. But anyway, like I said, I told you the two that I couldn't find, they're called the Chip, and there's two different versions of it, and this is the same kind of thing as this, where I was buying it to give away because it's a little teeny fixed blade, and I thought they're really cute. They come in this little leather sheath. You may have seen a couple years ago. It was brand new, and everybody was talking about them, and I thought they were so super cool. It had a little cord on the end of it. You know, you barely hold on to it because it's so tiny, and they're around here somewhere. And then what happened was, I know this is getting long, but I got to tell you this story. And, you know, a lot of you are going to be gone anyway. So I made the, I don't know, mistake or whatever of telling my girlfriend that I can't find these things. And as soon as she hears I can't find, she goes on the hunt. And she is just like a hound dog. She's like going after it, trying to find it. We didn't find them, but crazy thing is, we went through all these boxes. If you collect like I do, I got like, you know, somewhere between 200 and 300 knives, and you go to shows and stuff like that, you end up with so much stuff. And I'm gonna have to back this up a little bit. And so we went through boxes and stuff, and so we kind of, she went and consolidated. So you can say here, Ken stickers. Look at that big bag of stickers. Look at that bag of stickers. I gotta get this organized. I know Bees has his like all in different drawers, but man, look at all those stickers. And that's just the stickers. So she bagged all those up. I gotta show you this. It's just crazy. It's just wild. This is like miscellaneous. So Ken miscellaneous. And she ended up grabbing a bunch of stickers that she liked. And this is just like weird stuff like koozies, and there's a Bees gnome in there. Some pins, some air freshener things, just a little duck in there. There's all kinds of crazy stuff in here. So this is stuff that kind of got picked up at shows. You know, they have the free swag. And so, you know, when you go to like 4 or 5 shows, you start really collecting stuff. All this is just cards. It's like people's business cards and just little card things. So there's a bunch of that kind of stuff. You know, some of the stuff I'll never look at again, but you never know. And at least it's organized. So if I'm looking for a card, I know where to look. And this is parts. So I actually got more parts. I know some of the places where I have some of these. I'm going to probably go and put these in with this. So there's There's little screws and clips and just various things. And I gotta label them so I know where they came from. But yeah, you can see kinds of stuff like that. And then the last thing is coins. So yeah, I gotta do some giveaways. Throw some coins in there. There's a lot of these are the Kaiser 10-year anniversary because they were giving those away like they were going out of style, and I guess they were because it was the 10th year anniversary. There's probably some others in here other than those, but there's a lot of those in here. So probably every giveaway I do will have one of those, whether you collect coins or not. It's just one of those things. So anyway, I just had to share that with you guys. I know we're at over 30 minutes. It's been a long day, guys. I hope you had a good day. I had a good day, but it's long. I'm tired. I'm ready to pour myself a glass of bourbon and relax a little bit. But yeah, this is late because she started on this stuff and it took a while to get through all these and get it all organized. But now it's organized, so that's good. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next. Oh, so far so good with the channel. I don't have any new news. I'm kind of waiting to see what's going on next week, but I'll keep you up to date on that. So you guys take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one.